And welcome back to O's Xtra, joined now by Roch Kubatko of MASNsports.com. And Roch, at this time of the year, already the planning is going on for next year. And one of the pitchers who really wants to get back, just so he could say he made it back, is Miguel Gonzalez.
Right.
Now, he's been on the disabled list. You'd never want to end a year, if you can, on the disabled list and not being able to play. What's the latest on Miguel, and does he have a chance to get back in the final 3 weeks?
Looks like he does. He threw on flat ground today, which was a big step for him. He's been on the DL, the inflammation, the tendonitis in his right shoulder and the elbow. So he threw on flat ground. It went really well. The arm feels great. So he'll probably do that at least one more time. Then after that, they have to decide because, you know, the minor league season's over as far as going on a rehab assignment other than the teams in the playoffs. So they could set him down to Sarasota in the fall instructional league and let him face some hitters there. Or Buck Showalter said maybe they could set up a simulated game or two here as long as he's facing hitters. And then they would have put him back in the rotation. That might surprise some people given how much he struggled. The Buck said it'd probably be good for the team as well as Miguel to get him back in there. You hope he has a few positive outings to close out the season. As Buck said, hopefully he's pitching for us in the playoffs. So there you go. If they make the playoffs here, he's going to be in that rotation. We asked him what about the possibility of the bullpen, and Buck said he's not going to say necessarily, no way, but more than likely he would end up being back in that rotation. They really do want to get him a few more starts. Like I said, they think it would help the club, a healthy Miguel Gonzalez. Clearly something's been wrong. His fastball command, which usually is much better what we've seen, it's been off. That was a problem with the shoulder, and then compensating for it made the elbow swell up. So it'd be good for the team to have him effective, and it would also be really good for Miguel because he factors in. He's still under team control for next season.
All right, now it's been a very interesting couple of weeks for Nolan Reimold. He was designated for assignment, cleared waivers, was outrighted to AAA, and now not only is he back, he's playing his best baseball in recent memory. What is clicking for Reimold? All of a sudden, he looked like the player that he was a couple of years ago before the injury.
Right, and he stayed healthy, which let's start out with that, because everybody said, if Nolan plays every day or whatever, he's going to get hurt. The guy's been healthy, knock on wood. He's 7 games this month from that leadoff spot, and he's there again tonight as the DH instead of left field. He's 9 for 25, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He's scored 9 runs. He's got 6 walks. This is what you want from your leadoff hitter, and that's what he's doing. He has a knack for getting on base, and that's important for a team that struggles to do that. So I asked Nolan, I said, I heard you're working with Scott Coolbaugh, and something seemed to click. And he kind of grinned. He said, it really wasn't that much. He talked about when he was outrighted in Norfolk, and he did accept the assignment. He didn't have to. He decided he was just going to relax, no pressure, just go up there and play and not stress so much. And when he got called up, he met the team in Toronto. He said he stepped in the box the first time, and he thought, this feels good. This feels right. And it's carried over since then. So I'm like, all right, Nolan, but what about the adjustments you made with Scott Coolbaugh? And he goes, look, and he cut me off and he smiled. He goes, I believe in jinxes. And he knocked on wood, the wood locker. He actually knocked on wood. He's afraid to talk about it. There was some tweaking. I said, look, people have noticed your front foot seems to be turned inward a little bit. You've adjusted the stance a little. And he just smiled, and he went back to saying how he's just more relaxed now and he's not stressing. There were some adjustments made, but Nolan really doesn't want to talk about it. And if he takes an 0 for 5 tonight, Jim, I'm going to feel awful, and he'll never talk to me again. So let's just say that he's more relaxed at the plate now because we're not going to talk about anything else.
I mentioned the front foot. It's a little pigeon-toed, and he goes, what? So I think it'll be equal if he goes an 0 for 5.
And then he knocked on the locker again.
Just superstitious as they are. Okay, the most valuable Oriole balloting is underway. I've already turned in my ballot. Yep. And this year, to me, there really are 3 legitimate candidates. Of course, you have Chris Davis and Manny Machado. But don't forget about Zach Britton, who's had a brilliant year in the bullpen. It probably will come down to either Davis or Manny because the voting tends to favor everyday players. Who do you think is going to end up with that award?
Right. And Darren O'Day deserves some love, too. And I guarantee you he'll turn up on some ballots. I think you vote for the top 3. I did turn mine in as well. I won't reveal them yet. But it really does come down to Manny and to Davis. I just think it's interesting because normally there's a more obvious choice. When Chris hits 53 home runs that year, you say, okay, it's got to be him. Adam Jones has won it multiple times. There's no obvious pick. Do you go with the guy who leads the majors with 42 home runs and ranks 3rd in RBIs with 106? And he's batting .263. So even though he leads the majors with 187 strikeouts, he's hitting for a decent average, and he leads the team in walks with 70, which might surprise some people. So you go with that. Looks like an obvious choice, but then you look at Machado. Across the board, those numbers, the 291 average, the 362 on base percentage, which again, for a team that routinely ranks near the bottom in the majors and on base percentage, that's huge. As your leadoff hitter primarily, 28 homers, 72 RBIs, playing in every game. Also 17 stolen bases, and this also might surprise some people. He's 3 steals away from the 7th 2020 season in franchise history. 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. Brady Anderson did it 3 times. Paul Blair once, Don Baylor once, and the guy they got when they traded Baylor to the A's, Reggie Jackson in 76. And you've got Manny Machado. So how do you not pick him? So it really does come down to those 2. I always take the informal poll among the writers. It looks like it's split right now. People get passionate with their arguments. It's got to be Manny. No, it's got to be Chris. Look at the power numbers. It's going to be very interesting. Maybe, to be fair, it should just come down to a tie. And I wouldn't mind seeing that happen because they both really do deserve it. And yes, Zach Britt absolutely deserves votes as well.
Well, give yourself a break. Just vote for Adam Jones. Then you don't have to worry about it.
I was going to take Ryan Flaherty and throw everybody a curve. He had 4 home runs in a 10-game span. Let's give the guy some love.
All right, Roch Kubatko. Follow his coverage of the Orioles at MASNsports.com.